Okay, everybody, hello. No update on the bus. Can't give you an update on that right now. But we have this very lovely lady's mummy sitting in front of us right now, and we're going to do your story. So, can you tell everyone your name?
My name is Whitney.
And how many children have you got?
I have 2 children, 2 boys,
How old are they?
8 and 3.
Okay, so we're going to ask you the question of when you were pregnant with your first child, could I have called you an anti-vaxxer?
No, I was as pro-vaccine as they came.
How pro-vaccine? Talk to me about it.
I had the flu shot when I was pregnant. I was for vaccinations. I have friends who had daughters at the time that were discussing Gardasil. I was very like, oh, you've got to do that. You've got to do Gardasil. I knew for a fact that my children would be fully vaccinated to the point. My son was born on the 30th of January. Every time he was supposed to have a vaccine, we were in there on the 30th. If that fell on a weekend, we were there early. We weren't there later.
What did you think of people that had unvaccinated kids that had no vaccines at all?
They were crazy. Just nut jobs, didn't know what they were doing, didn't see the science. I just thought the science was there. You got to do this. This is what saves people. I believe that kids would be dying from measles, mumps, everything if we didn't get everybody vaccinated stat.
All right, so we've got that one established, peeps. So you're pregnant with your first son, and you do or you don't get a vaccine while you're pregnant?
I got the flu vaccine when I was pregnant.
And why did you get that? What did you think that was good for?
It was hopefully going to keep me from getting the flu. I had got the flu vaccine for every year prior to that. So I thought, boy, I'm going to keep myself from getting sick. I'm going to protect this baby. Everything I'm doing is exactly what he's going to be healthy and safe.
Did you make your husband get the flu shot as well?
No.
Oh, many do.
Do they?
Yeah, and
No.
the grandparents and anyone else who's going to come in contact with the baby. So you didn't do that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so he's born.
Mm-hmm.
Is he born on time?
Yep, born about 2 days late, past his due date.
And so you hold your wonderful boy and you look down at your beautiful baby, and do you think there's something wrong with this child?
Oh no,
Baby.
he's perfect.
He's perfect.
Nothing wrong with him.
So it's vitamin K and Hep B time. Do you go ahead and do that?
Oh yeah, yep, he got it all.
So I'm presuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that as the wellness visits, as you said, actually you've already said this, you tick the dates off, that he has everything on schedule.
Oh, everything on schedule. Exactly what he's supposed to have. We are not late. We are doing everything that's recommended.
Not questioning a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When do you start to see that there's a problem?
I noticed that after every time he gets shots, he would get a little snotty, have a red spot at the injection site. Some of them would kind of knot up, and I asked the doctors if that was normal. Yeah, that's totally normal. Just kind of a slight reaction, and we just go on, and everything would be fine until the next time, and we would do it and go through that again, and everything was good.
Did you ever say to the doctor, I'm a bit concerned, he's not quite right after his vaccines, or did you totally trust?
I would just say, you think everything's fine with these knots or the red marks or the snottiness, and that was just always kind of normal. And I said, okay, we're normal. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
So what was it that made you think that? Well, when did things go wrong?
So on February,
you feel free to look at your notes if you need to.
Okay, on February 15th, he was a year and 2 weeks, and we went in for some vaccinations. We had some vaccines that were given to him, and when it was over with, we went to the car, and he screamed. And he'd always cried after vaccines, but then he'd be fine afterwards. And he screamed all the way home. My mom ended up keeping him that day while I went to work, and he screamed until lunchtime. You couldn't console him, and then he went to sleep. And then we really couldn't wake him up, and my mom felt like something was off, so we went back to the doctor, and they said it was probably fine. He probably just had a little virus. It was a coincidence. Sent us home.
Bit of Tylenol?
Gave him Tylenol. At that time, we were actually given some ibuprofen too. We rotated that. He really wasn't running a fever.
You just did it anyway?
Yeah, we just did it anyways, because I thought maybe he was hurting or something because of the screaming. Slept, wouldn't wake up good. The next day, it was still the same thing. If he was awake, he was screaming. Most of the time, though, he was asleep or kind of in I call it a dazed state. He would just kind of stare and close his eyes, and if he woke up, it's like he was asleep, but his eyes were open. So we went back to the doctor the next day. They said it was probably maybe low blood sugar because he wasn't eating good because he was sleeping so much. So we would try to wake him up every couple hours to feed him. He wouldn't feed. Finally, about day 3, he kind of woke up, and at that point, we had 5 words. When he was at that age, he said mama, daddy, drink, bird, and cow. And I didn't hear him speak again until he was 3.5.
It's rough.
Very rough.
Is it the point that you realised that vaccines were the issue, or had you still not realised at this point?
I thought I was really leaning towards the fact that this was the issue, but I kept being told, no, this is just kind of when developmental delays happen. He's a boy. This is normal. Girls, boys are slower to develop. He'll be fine. He'll come out of it. When he was 2.5, I finally got a doctor to say, let's have him screened for speech therapy. He also, one thing I will back up, he had also had chronic diarrhea his entire life since first week of birth. And when I say chronic diarrhea, I say 10 diapers a day most of the time. And it was just water. I mean, just...
And what did the doctor say about the water diarrhea?
It's pediatric diarrhea, toddler diarrhea, totally normal. He'll outgrow it. He was not failing. He was growing. He was doing well. Other than he just had these really acidic bowel movements and diarrhea every day. We didn't go a day without diarrhea forever. And we finally got in to see a GI doctor. Kind of got some of that under control. We've tried different formulas. We've tried different diets. We've told it might be something similar to irritable bowel syndrome for him. We don't know if he'll outgrow it or not. If he doesn't take medicine now, he still has diarrhea. So, we, I guess, control stuff with medicine.
Now, your next son.
Yes.
What's the age gap?
5 years.
So, how many vaccines did he get?
He got the whooping cough vaccine.
So when he's born, so you didn't get vaccinated while you're pregnant?
No.
Because you are aware now of vaccines. So
yes.
When he's born, no vitamin K or Hep B?
No, he had vitamin K, no Hep B.
No Hep B. When did he have the whooping cough, and why?
I was scared of whooping cough.
Sure. Was it anything to do with those commercials of the big scary wolves holding the baby?
Yes, and then plus, the doctors, and I they wanted to give you the whooping cough vaccine, but it was after he was born, so I actually had myself the whooping cough vaccine after my baby was born, and then we went through and got his, at whatever aged frame he's supposed to have it, but that was pretty well it, and then now we don't do anything no vaccines with him at all.
So today, and I know you've done lots of great work. You're a great doctor. We're not going to talk about who the doctor is. We've already discussed this before we came live, and we're not going to tell you why he's doing so well on this particular feed. But we will say that he is doing really well.
Yes, he's doing very well.
And how much, if you don't mind me asking, has that financially cost you?
We went into debt. I can tell you exactly about $30,000 we went into debt. And we had insurance, and we also had Tefra in the state of Arkansas that helped us. But I did some stuff that took us out of state, some different therapies, and kind of, staying somewhere for 3 weeks, doing some different speech therapies. We did some speech, did lots of occupational therapy, trying to get him to where he could go to school.
So, going from a very pro-vax, was your husband the same?
Yes.
So both of you?
Yes, very pro-vax.
Very pro. And then to seeing your children in different varying forms being injured, and I say that because they did not have these things before their vaccines. and then doing your own research and maybe watching these stories and seeing the fantastic, overwhelming health of the unvaccinated, how do you feel that you've been lied to?
I feel like I was scared, or not really, just scared. I mean, I was just one of these people that thought, if I don't get my son the measles, mumps vaccine or any of these other, he's going to die. He could get whooping cough and die, or he could get measles or mumps and be dead tomorrow. In the back of my mind, I was thinking kids are dying everywhere from measles, mumps, whooping cough, you name it. I even wondered, I mean, my oldest is fully vaccinated minus one vaccine. That's, by the time it just all kind of clicked on me, I was, he's up to date pretty much. But, I just feel like I was just scared to death that what I was doing was going to hurt my child if I didn't do the vaccines.
The fear
Yes,
they
the
rely
fear.
on. Yeah, you were scared of whooping cough. I was scared of polio, so I took my little Toby to get, even though I knew. So we all, there's a great many people on here who not just, even when they knew that their first was vaccine injured, still living in fear of something or another, continued for one reason or
Yes,
another. You are
I mean,
so not
even
on your
after
own.
what I saw with my oldest son, I still had that fear with my youngest son. So, I mean, yeah, just scared to death that, am I going to make the right decision? Is this decision going to hurt my child?
Well, you have told the story so beautifully. I mean, really, thank you. Is there anything else we've missed out? Is there anything else that you want to say about
No.
your story?
No.
And your advice to the new mum?
Research. I just want people to be able to have choice, to be able to research things, to make your own decisions. If somebody wants to vaccinate, that's fine with me. If somebody doesn't want to vaccinate, that's fine with me as well. Just respect everybody's decisions and choices. We're trying to take care of our kids the best we can. No one's setting out to harm their children purposefully. They're just trying to make decisions and be great parents and have healthy kids who can grow up and take care of themselves.
Amazing you. Thank you so much.
you.
I so appreciate you being here and your bravery for coming in. And you didn't have to do that, and you did it to help others, and for that we're so incredibly grateful. And thank you.
Thank you.
Love from everybody. You're getting a lot of love.
Okay.
And we're going to come off now, and the battery on We Are Vaxxed is about to die, so we will sort that out. We Are Vaxxed. We will go back with you. Periscope going strong for whatever